Hey everybody, it's Jane from Norman S. Wright. This week I'm going to answer the question, what is valve authority? So let's get started. Valve authority is a term used to describe the effectiveness with which a control valve can regulate flow rates within a system. It's determined by the relationship between the pressure drop across the valve when fully open and the total pressure drop in the system. Essentially, the higher the pressure drop across the valve compared to the rest of the system, the more control, or authority, the valve has over the flow rates. Let's move this over. So I'm a long-time air distribution person, so an analogy I found helpful is the concept of operating VAV boxes. When selecting a VAV box, the goal is to ensure that the damper has the widest possible operating range to maintain efficient airflow control. Ideally, you want the damper to be nearly full open at maximum flow and close to full closed at minimum flow. This wide range allows for precise adjustments to meet varying conditions. This would be considered having high valve authority. It means the damper has a significant control over the airflow, enabling it to respond effectively to changes in demand. If you select an oversized VAV box, you can have a situation where at maximum flow, the damper only needs to be open about 30% and barely changes as demand decreases. This limited range of operation means that the system loses a lot of its ability to finely control airflow, essentially having low valve authority. The damper's influence on airflow is minimum. And so this one would have high valve authority. Okay, so let's move this over and go back to hydronics. To calculate the authority, you want to look at delta PV, which is the pressure drop across the valve at its fully open position, since this would be the minimum pressure drop across the valve. If you close the valve to zero flow, the full pressure drop of the system is basically across the valve. This is defined as delta PV plus delta PC. The valve authority, N, is equal to delta PV divided by delta PV plus delta PC. Let's scoot this over one more time. So let's look at different ranges of N. So if N is between 0 and 25%, the valve authority provides unstable to fair control with a low pressure drop. Between 25 and 50%, the valve authority provides good control and a reasonable pressure drop. And between 50 and 100%, the valve authority provides good to excellent control, but has a high pressure drop. So selecting around 50%, maybe between 35 and 75%, is a good range because it balances control with pressure drop. So let's bring all this back on screen. So that answers the question, what is valve authority? Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and thanks for watching.